with what I call the 3 E's: energy, the environment, and education. Since we actually seem to be in an election this year that is dealing with the actual issues rather than, wedge issues.
Amazing, isn't it? My particular issue is energy, and that's why I'm going to vote for Obama, because I think he's got a better understanding of that concept. But I think everybody's focusing on the economy as opposed to immigration.
Right. Energy is the future of the economy, or at least part of the economy, and we need to start investing in renewable energy. And this is where I disagree with the standard Democratic line, is that yes, we need to invest in renewable energy, but we need to be able to pay for our gas while we search for those new renewable fuels.
I will get a little elitist here, and I don't mind.
That's the 4th E.
Elitists are Americans too. And I live in Washington, and
But you're from Ohio. How would you be an elitist?
After all, I'm outside the Beltway.
Since we're in the stereotypes now.
Those Washington elitists. Elitists are people too. Listen, I now have an 8-year-old turbo diesel car. It was important to me 8 years ago. It was important to me 15 years ago. I will not buy a car that gets anything less than 40 miles a gallon. That was available to me 8 years ago. I don't drive it very much. I'm fortunate to live in the nation's capital, where we have an extensive trails network where I can ride my bike. I live 3 minutes away from work. I ride my bike to work. I take the metro everywhere I possibly can. I can go a week at a time without using my car. When I do, my car burns biodiesel or regular diesel, and I get 40 to 50 miles a gallon.
My thoughts on energy and elitism take me to my thought on greed. When I was a young child in school, they taught us about the downfalls of a lot of different political and economic systems. And I always wondered, well, what's the downfall of capitalism? Isn't there a problem with capitalism? I think we're starting to see the problem with capitalism. And I'm not advocating that we become communist or socialist, but I really think that we need a cultural shift in this country, which might come out of necessity, so that we'll all become like Ryan. But I think that
pain is a great motivator for change.
Greed is out of control, and we can talk about Wall Street all we want, and we can talk about big corporations all we want, but we need to look at individually what we're doing. And I have to, that includes me, I have to look at, why do I need so much more space? Why do I need a huge truck for one little old me? I think we all need to start, and speaking of Europe, you mentioned Europe, I was just in Paris recently. All those cute little Parisians were driving around in cute little cars. They were not worried about having the big fancy car. They had little cars, and they had a lot of smart cars, and I think that that's where we need to go.
I think what the problem in America is, as she mentioned, Parisians drive around in small little cars. The truth is, behind that, is they don't offer you a bigger car. Okay.
There were a few of those big cars, but they look very comfortable in those little cars.
Okay,
and they all drive the same car, and they don't care.
Now this gets right to another situation here, which is the concept of choice.
Yeah,
greed of the auto
industry? It does. No, the point is that in America we have a lot of choice.
Too much?
I think limiting choice is limiting what our country stands for also. But I do think that all of us, regardless of where we live, whether it's a city or in a rural area, or whether we have lots of money or we have none at all, I think what's going to happen is we are going to all have to make a concerted effort in dealing with the problems that are right here.